Winter storm watch. We are keeping tabs on a system that will bring different conditions to our area tonight, depending on where you live. For many neighborhoods, the storm will start as snow before turning into a wintry mix, which could bring icy road conditions. PennDOT says it's ready for the storm. Crews pre-treated major roadways and some secondary roadways with salt brine. Once an inch or more of snow accumulates, they will begin plowing.
And this storm comes in the middle of a busy travel day for people driving home from their Christmas celebrations today. AAA says now through 8 p.m. is expected to be the worst time to be out on the roads. Doesn't look too bad out there right now, at least on that camera there. But NBC10 First Alert Meteorologist Robert Johnson is here with the very latest on the storm passing through the area, Robert.
You're absolutely right, Johnny. It's not too bad out there right now, but it's gradually going to get worse in the hours ahead. And I've been checking out the different observation sites across our state, and more of this precipitation is starting to stick. Earlier today, we did see some thunder snow. There you see the lightning bolts north of Scranton along the Pennsylvania-New York line, and even a couple more lightning bolts near Punxsutawney. And that's an indication that there's a lot of lift in the atmosphere, and what goes up must come down, meaning the precipitation is really heavy. Here at home, we've got some on and off snow showers, some of which are reaching the ground through Reading into Allentown, but there's even more on the way. But accumulation is already starting to happen in spots. That's also occurring across Bucks County, where you've got some light snow falling all the way down into Burlington County near Pemberton, down into Chemung Township. In Philadelphia, we're dry right now, but just wait, it's only going to become more active. By 6:30 this evening, notice the pink. That's sleet extending from the Lehigh Valley, Berks County, through Philadelphia into Tabernacle, and in the green is rain that extends from Atlantic City through Millville all the way down into Dover, Delaware. By 9:30 this evening, some snow mixing in, especially near the Lehigh Valley, near Mercer County and northern Ocean County, but a lot of sleet. It's more of an ice storm than a snowstorm for Berks County, Philadelphia into Tabernacle, and notice the green, quite a bit of rain through central and southern Delaware into extreme South Jersey from Millville down into Cape May. The precipitation starts to become lighter by midnight, and then it tapers off in the overnight hours, and then by tomorrow morning, lots of clouds, but we're dry. We'll check in with meteorologist Godynick, who's in Glassboro, New Jersey, with our exclusive Storm Ranger 10 to give us a closer view as to what's happening right now. Justin, tell us what Storm Ranger is and how it benefits us.
Yeah, Robert, Storm Ranger is our very own Doppler radar. It's on wheels. It has a beam that shoots out about 75 miles, and it gives us the most hyper-local neighborhood view of the radar. And I want to share that with you right now. What we are looking at is something called the correlation coefficient radar, and this is very important in the summer if you're looking for debris from a tornado, but in the winter it actually helps to pick up where it's raining, snowing, or sleeting. And I want to point to the Lehigh Valley right now, Northampton County, Lehigh County, into Upper Bucks, the Quakertown area. Notice the brighter yellow shading here on this correlation coefficient radar. There is mixing occurring. Where the yellows are showing up is where the mixing with sleet is occurring, because the radar is bouncing off those balls of sleet that are falling from the clouds. Where we're in red, it's mostly snow, which is finer, and the correlation coefficient radar is not picking up on that particular precipitation. Here in Glassboro, South Jersey, we are dealing with freezing rain right now and some sleet. Ground is getting very slippery. Cars are coated. I have a music stand that I've been using to hold my laptop up here to show you the graphics, filled with ice, covered in ice, and that's a big problem here. If we look at some of the temperatures across the area, on the PA side, we're in the upper 20s, but as you cross the border into Jersey, it's some lower 30s. So now we're talking about the difference between who's seeing freezing rain and rain. And when you have freezing rain, it's a process called latent heat release. That freezing of the rain actually releases a little bit of heat, and as time goes on, the temperature will slowly come up, and that freezing rain will luckily change to rain. But we got a while until that happens, so be very careful on the area roadways. That's the latest here from Glassboro, New Jersey. Let me get it back into the anchors at the desk.
All right, Justin, thank you for that report there in Glassboro. Bucks County is one of the areas expected to get a few inches of snow from this storm. That's where we find NBC10 Lili Zheng. She's north of where Justin was in Yardley with the conditions out there right now. Lili, how's it looking?
Hey, yeah, Johnny. So it hasn't really started snowing yet. We see some light flakes right now, but this is coming on one of the busiest travel days of the holiday season. Here's a look at 295 right now near Yardley. Traffic has steadily picked up since we first got here about 2 hours ago. And speaking with drivers, they say that the weather has impacted plans for both people staying in town and those heading out. Heading to upstate New York Friday, this woman says she's prepared to spend most of her evening on the road.
It's probably going to take about 4 hours to get there.
Possibly more, says Natasha, depending on how the roads are. We met her at a rest stop in Bucks County before the wintry weather moved in.
My daughter and I were talking about whether we should shift our plans, but it's my daughter's birthday.
The plans are going forward, she says, just paying extra attention behind the wheel. She joins other drivers on the road and workers with PennDOT.
We're well prepared, have a lot of materials on hand, about 90,000 tons of salt, so no issues there.
Brad Rudolph with PennDOT says they have started anti-icing and brining, that liquid salt solution you see being used here. Most of the major roadways are done with more than 400 trucks ready to go once the first flakes fall. Rudolph says they'll have to work with the expected holiday traffic.
The volume kind of works against us, but at the same time, it also grinds in that salt and, delivers that reaction that we desperately need to start the melting process.
Whether they have travel plans or are staying put this weekend,
I'm just getting the snow blowers ready and filling up with gas.
People we spoke with say they are ready.
Depends on the weather. We'll see how it goes.
Now back out here live, PennDOT says the advice remains if you don't have to be on the roads to stay off of them. But given that we are right in the middle of the holidays, they say that's not always the case with some plans. So if you do have to be on the roads, they are really encouraging people to take it slowly out there. For now, reporting live in Yardley, Lili Zheng, NBC10 News.
Well, this storm could create dangerous conditions on roads around our region, including in Philadelphia. This is a live look along Broad Street here from our camera at the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts. NBC10 Shire Arias is checking out how the roads are looking around the city. She joins us live from I-95 with an update. Shira, what are you seeing out there?
Kelsey, we just passed exit 27, Aramingo exit, and right now we are headed towards Roosevelt Boulevard, Cottman, and we left Center City, I want to say about 15-20 minutes ago, much or less, and what we saw as we left was that there was a little bit of hail. It was very light hail. It dissolved very quickly once it hit our windshields. But right now on 97, you can see that it is very clear. Traffic is actually not that bad. We did hit a little bit of traffic just a few minutes ago, but right now it is very steady. This is one of the busiest days for people to start heading back home as well as tomorrow. And PennDOT says that they understand that people need to get that travel in after the holidays, and they just want people and drivers to be aware that once that snow hits, they need to be aware of plow trucks in the area and keeping your distance as well from vehicles. But this is what we're seeing right now for anyone who needs to head out. I'm going to send it back to you, and we'll once we have more updates, we'll be sending it your way.
All right, we'll check back in. And we checked FlightAware a short time ago, and it lists a total of 145 cancellations into and out of Philly International. 151 flights in and out have been delayed. The big four airlines are letting flyers change their trips because of the winter storm. American, Delta, United, and Southwest, along with the JetBlue and other airlines, are waiving change fees and fare differences for basic economy tickets for anyone flying in and out of Philly International. But you must travel before the end of the year and head to the same destination. Check with your airline, as each carrier may have slightly different rules or restrictions.
And we want to see how this storm is affecting your neighborhood. Send us your photos and videos by going to See It, Share It on the free NBC10 app. And the NBC10 Morning Show team will have the latest on the lingering impact from this storm around the Delaware Valley. And we'll have live coverage starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.